There are several ways you can cover up certain shifts in behavior at the table. Wrapping a scarf around your neck or wearing a giant sweater, but the most popular is without a doubt wearing sunglasses. One of the more common questions I get is, should I wear sunglasses at the table? Which really is a very interesting question, and I want to explore the pros and cons. Let's start with the first pro. The eyes leak a lot of information. Blink rate can be correlated with hand strength. The order of someone's gaze direction can give off a ton of potentially useful information. Subtle indications of surprise can be displayed via slight changes in the eyelids. Indications of perplexion in the upper half of the face can suggest several pieces of valuable information. You're able to get a good gauge of a player's focus, attention, and line of interest through watching the eyes. I mean, this is just a fraction of the information that can be potentially identified by paying attention to the eyes and muscles around them. And while the amount of information that is leaked via the eyes is going to be player specific, sunglasses just solve this problem completely by covering this area, which you can't deny is a powerful pro. Second, picking up information in other players requires you to be gazing in their direction. Sunglasses hide this fact. It will be a lot easier to conceal the fact that you are looking at someone when you have sunglasses on. This is helpful because sometimes staring at someone really can affect their behavior. Personally, this used to happen to me, and I've spoken about this before, but basically, when I first started playing poker, if someone started to stare at me, I would get uncomfortable, whether I had a good hand or a bad hand. So it was the process of being stared at that creates a shift in emotion or change in behavior, not card strength or an event that happened at the table. When you're wearing glasses, you can observe people much easier without their knowledge, and at the same time, you're going to reduce the risk of your observations changing your opponent's behavior. Third, and this is sort of theoretical, but I believe that sunglasses will make certain players more comfortable at the table. By creating a barrier between them and their opponents, it may allow them to decrease some of the stress associated with the game. And in a game that's, foundationally based on decisions, a reduction in stress definitely can't hurt. Okay, now the cons. First, the reason one of my Beyond Chills t-shirts says your sunglasses won't help you is because some players have the tendency to believe that when they put on their glasses, they won't give anything off. This is definitely not the case. Information can be found everywhere. So just because you have your sunglasses on, don't think you're impenetrable. To add to that, I feel like while sunglasses do cut off a lot of information via the eyes, they could potentially increase the amount of information displayed elsewhere. Due to the fact due to the false sense, basically, of comfort that they provide. Second is the information that comes from emotional connections and conversation at the table. So the player who talks a lot and asks a lot of questions in order to elicit information is going to be much less effective with sunglasses on. The eyes play a critical role in socialization, and connections come from looking into each other's eyes and recognizing rich level of emotionality displayed around the eyes. When you have sunglasses on, you are cutting off the communication of that information. It's a hell of a lot more difficult to express empathy when you're wearing sunglasses. For example, if I were to wear these sunglasses in all of my videos, I can guarantee that I would have much fewer followers. Whether you realize it or not, a lot of information is displayed in the upper half of my face. It's the movement in my face and my emotional displays that a lot of information I convey connects with my audience. Next time you're at the table and you find a player who's talkative and engaging and sort of that friendly person, look at their eyes. You're probably going to see a lot of movement and animation around them as well. The best professional example of this is probably Daniel Negreanu, a player who is very good at using his social skills to elicit information. I don't know, but you might be one of those players, and by wearing sunglasses, you are definitely going to significantly reduce your ability to connect with others at the table. Third, and I have had arguments about this, but I believe your stare will be less effective with your sunglasses on. Part of the reason a stare can be so intimidating is due to the angle of the head and movement around the eyes. We are attracted to movement in the face, and while there are a lot of cultural considerations, the absence of that movement is weird and often uncomfortable. Staring at someone at the table can be a useful strategy at times. I strongly believe you are less likely to bluff a player who has a powerful stare and is actively applying it, and by wearing sunglasses, you may be diminishing the power of that stare. Fourth, and this is the biggest game changer for me, is that sunglasses can affect your vision by reducing the overall brightness of the situation and reducing your overall field of vision because of the frames. For obvious reasons, my vision is very important at the table, and I haven't really found a pair of sunglasses that I feel prevent that. Finally, and this is a very, very rare, but occasionally, if the reflection and angles are just right, it is possible for a player to see your hole cards if you lift them up high enough. For any decent poker player, I think this is really hard for this event to actually occur, but I actually tried it out in my office using a pair of Ray-Bans, and it was possible at certain angles, so I thought I would bring it up. So those are the pros and cons that I think are relevant from a behavioral perspective. When you're making the decision to wear them or not, you are really going to have to take a look at your own game and figure out what is right for you. Personally, I don't wear sunglasses when I play. I feel like they block my vision, and I know for a fact that I get much less information out of talking to people with them on. However, if I found I was giving off some piece of information that I couldn't prevent, and there were observant players at the table, I would put them on in a second. Ultimately, it's up to you. And by the way, I personally feel that sunglasses and any sort of thing that covers the face should be banned from all poker tables. If I owned a casino, there would be a non-obstruction of the face poker rule. But hey, the whole spending 2 years of my life studying tells thing makes me a little bit biased about that. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also make sure you check out my free 3-part workshop, beyondtells.com/workshop. Any questions? Ask below.